Development strategies are long-term programs of countries making their transition to a new qualitative economic state in real time. Determining the priorities of its own development is a key task of any state, but leadership does not always formalize this in the form of a full-fledged strategy. A typical example of this model is the countries of South Asia, such as Malaysia, with its successful Vision 2020 program. Few people thought to resort to such an experience in the post-Soviet space. However, the collapse of the USSR required the former socialist republics to quickly adapt to new conditions. And it was not by chance that the first president, Nursultan Nazarbayev, began to focus on the example of countries that had successfully undergone transformation within the framework of Asian modernization. As a result, in 1992, Elbasi presented to the public his strategy for the formation and development of Kazakhstan as a sovereign state. We can name many reasons for such a rapid and irreversible destruction of the seemingly strongest superpower, but the main one is that in the USSR, there was initially no mechanism of self-perception and self-determination of a person. The Soviet people never really felt that they were the true masters of their lives, their property, and their country, but were only the voiceless cogs of the party-state machine. This quote from the first policy document of independent Kazakhstan simultaneously draws a line under the socialist part of our country and hints at the values that it would follow in the present. The strategy covered almost all key areas of the state and society. Many issues in the field of politics and economics were raised, especially the problems of implementing a smooth transition to market relations. It should be emphasized that the strategy was not a vague manifesto, but offered a very definite plan of action for the coming years. Over time, the ideas expressed by Nursultan Nazarbayev have become a reality. For example, in 1993, the national currency, the tenge, was introduced, and 2 years later, the Constitution of the Republic of Kazakhstan was adopted. In addition, an active policy was carried out to preserve internal harmony, including the Assembly of the People of Kazakhstan, which was formed in 1995. Contacts with all world and regional powers and with various political and economic blocs were strengthened, which was the beginning of the formation of a multi-vector foreign policy of the Republic, and the first large foreign investments were attracted to the country's economy. All these tasks were established in that strategy alone. After that, as Kazakhstan successfully passed through the most difficult stage of its formation as an independent state, other issues had already come to the agenda. Now the main goal was to reach a qualitatively new level of development. In this regard, a new developmental program called Kazakhstan 2030 was adopted in 1997. If the strategy of 1992 was largely an anti-crisis document, then the concept of 2030 focused on consolidating the successes achieved and accelerating economic growth. Are there any reasons why Kazakhstan, with all its capabilities, cannot achieve the same? They don't exist. By 2030, I am sure that Kazakhstan will become a Central Asian leopard and will serve as an example for other developing countries. First the economy, then politics. Due to this wise approach, the implementation of the new strategy has achieved notable results. First of all, it is worth noting a significant increase in the well-being of the population, especially in comparison with the first years of independence of the Republic. Kazakhstan was included in the list of countries with an above-average income level. GDP per capita has increased more than tenfold since the first period of independence. Many key tasks were solved. The state integrity has been preserved, territorial disputes with all neighboring powers have been settled, friendly relations with the main world and regional centers have been built, the international community has been recognized, the internal stability of the Republic has been strengthened, a competitive market economy and modern infrastructure have been built, and much more. In turn, the Strategy 2050 sets new developmental goals. The cornerstone of this program is the Republic's entry into the top 30 most developed countries in the world. But at the same time, soberly assessing the current situation, the first president, Nursultan Nazarbayev, warned both the citizens of Kazakhstan and the inhabitants of the whole planet about the so-called 10 global challenges of the 21st century, which could become a serious factor in the development of humanity. These challenges include rapid acceleration of technological progress and the gradual shift of the geopolitical center of the world, democratic imbalance of recent years, threat to energy and food security, acute water scarcity, depletion of natural resources, the third industrial revolution, as well as the consequences of all of the above and the possibility of increasing social instability, as well as crises both economic and civilizational. Since then, a lot of time has passed, during which the Republic, although not without losses, has successfully coped with challenges both anticipated and completely unexpected. This fact, together with the foresight of the leader of the nation, instills confidence in the hearts of the citizens of our country in the future.
Уважаемые казахстанцы, в 21 веке должны учитываться в своих стратегических планах новые глобальные вызовы. Чтобы достойно принять новые вызовы, нам важно расширить горизонты стратегического планирования. Я предлагаю выстроить новый политический курс нации на период до 2050 года.
In hindsight, the long-term planning policy has paid off. Kazakhstan has made significant progress in the implementation of state strategies. The seemingly impossible goals and objectives set by the first president of the Republic, Nursultan Nazarbayev, were eventually realized, and they will be implemented in the future.